Good morning, my name is Jeff Lam, and I would like to introduce myself to you, and also this is my second English video to discuss some issues happening in Tung Chung area, including Caribbean coast and the other nearby estates. Firstly, currently we have some politicians that negatively speaking and talking about the Caribbean coast clubhouse, which doesn't give any constructive suggestion to improve our clubhouse, which I think that will enhance, that will make some depreciation to an image, negative impact to our lovable estate. Hereby I would like to provide 10 suggestions to improve our clubhouse. The first is to increase some gymnasium facilities. The second is to make the beach volleyball court to become also a kid football court, football yard, and become multi-use. And also the climbing wall that, because the government regulation that required an installator, and the cost of booking such a person is very high. I would suggest the clubhouse to centrally book an installator with license and run some more open days so people can share the cost and have fun with the facility. And also I would like to reopen the food counter that at the beginning to provide some hot drinks and cakes, and then the second step will be a self-served food, including those that you can find in 7-Eleven and Circle K. Also, given a small ratio of the cost compared to the proportion of the owners that come to the clubhouse to only read newspaper and magazine, that would be nice to increase the variety of both Chinese and English newspaper. And the more people coming to the clubhouse, they can also have access to other facilities. That will help the whole overall clubhouse performance. I also would like to suggest one more table tennis to be installed in the clubhouse with only 2 to 3 grand cost, and within half a year we can have the whole full return. Besides that, that would be nice if our BBQ area and the function room booking, the clubhouse can have an optional value-adding services like magic performance, MC, and also the food catering service, so the owners can have less pressure on organizing some events by simply having the clubhouse organizers to do that for you. It would be nice to improve and enhance the Phase 2 clubhouse facilities, including, say, provide a reading corner for magazine and newspaper, providing 1 or 2 mahjong table for the elderly Chinese people to play mahjong, and some other things that we can study further. So the Phase 3, 4, and 5, Phase 2, 3, and 4, or even Phase 5 owners, then they can have easy and quick access to the Phase 2 clubhouse to make good use of our existing location. And all the suggestion altogether will be less than, say, $100,000, and the return time, I believe, will be about 6 months to 1 year only, and anything after that period will be our bonus, and also that will enhance our property price for appreciation and the estate image. And this is what I want to discuss about our clubhouse. And next we will discuss about the shuttle bus contract in Caribbean coast as well. Now, with 98% owners attend the last EGM and rejected the very expensive 40 million plus shuttle bus tender, and now we have about 7 companies to bid compared to only 2 before, and price starting from 28 to 30 something million dollars. I would suggest us to consider the first 3 lowest bid companies to make good use of our resources in the area, in the Caribbean coast. Given that we have asked the trial one before, and the management of it did have organizing such an event, we learned a lot from the trial one. For example, we have an experience of waiting up to 30 minutes for one bus. I have studied the case, and I analyzed that analysis that the reason of this failure is simply because of the lack of authority being given to the drivers. It always comes to, say, 2 or 3 buses all come together. It's only one bus full loaded, and the second and the third one is pretty empty. so it makes the people joining the queue in both the estate and also outside the MTR station waiting up to 3 buses for only 1 bus to come, or for only 1 bus to get on and off. It is simply because the second and the third bus must wait for the first bus to drive, and then they cannot bypass them. I suggest here to have some certain authority to give to the other bus driver to count. If there's only if we are using a 55-seated bus and there's only 50 or something, less than 55 passengers joining the queue, then the second bus should go direct to the next stop instead of waiting altogether, become a long train with an empty seated. So in this case, we won't have many buses all come together and the passengers in the bus stop waiting for multiple buses time, and it won't have multiple buses in the empty or pretty empty stop to pick up 1 bus's loading. So that will be simply solve the problem. And the other thing is, when we have stop 2 and 3, I would suggest to divide the starting point by 2. So half the bus starting from stop 2 and half bus starting from the stop 3. So we won't have half pretty heavily loaded bus come to the next stop, and the next stop people cannot get on the bus. So we have a fair go in both stops, and that will be fair to everybody as well. And that's what I would like to discuss about the bus case. And on the 15th of July, that we will have another EGM to vote for one of the bus companies. And for the EGM and AGM matters, I would suggest all the owners not to give proxy to someone you don't know, or not to give proxy to someone that recommended by management office or security staff only. And the management office has conflict of interest in tendering or even in some election possibly. So because every dollar they spend, they will charge 10% as their commission, or they call MR, management remuneration. So obviously the higher spending, the better off for the MTR's corporation. And but certainly it's not good for us. So we don't suggest to cut costs by sacrificing living standard of our owners, but to better manage the management office, because they have $800,000 staff cost per month purely only for the MO staff, and also some previous tenders were very poorly managed. So we have 2 companies bidding a over $40 million contract, which is quite a joke in such an open market. And the fact for this tender proved that actually starting from 20-something million with 7 companies can do that. So we need to choose the good people to manage our office. We need to have good owners community to serve the owners' point of view. And I would here ask your support for the current phase 1 and 3 owners committee. And for those not speaking for owners' rights, please remove them from this position. Finally, I would like to thank for the Civil Crescent owners that we elected myself and my teammate to be the new owners committee in Civil, that we have the lowest management fee of $48 per square feet at the moment with such a small estate. And also we will keep working for owners, and we will try to improve better in the future. And for the other estates, and also including the one I live here in Caribbean Coast, I would like to seek for your support and help in the future so we can work together to improve our livable estates. Thank you very much.